Om Ashato Ma Sadgamaya Tamasho Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Avir Maedi Rudra Jate Dakshinam Mukham Te Namam Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace. Peace be to us, peace be to the earth, and peace be to every living being. Okay, so we are back to our study of the Nectar of Supreme Knowledge, and we'll be starting today verse number 27. What we have done, the person of wisdom, how he remains, that was we are discussing. And the last verse says that person of wisdom remains unperturbed in all situations. That is the sign of a man of wisdom. Also Bhagavad Gita says, no? What you say that you are asking? How a wise person sits, how he walks, how he talks, how he lives. That is the point. The same sthita pragya, lakshana, the sign of a sthita pragya, is being in a different way, has been expressed. That sign of that his mind is tranquil and perfectly peaceful. It will not be shaken by the adversaries of situations which we are. That's the transformation. Why we are spiritual? That is the point. Every little bit of things happen in our small life. We make a hue and cry of everything. But a person of experience who have realized his own real nature, they become so tranquil, like infinite ocean. If you throw one elephant enters into the ocean, what will happen to the ocean? That is the example given by Sri Ramakrishna. No? But if the same elephant enters into a small pool, what will happen? It will splash the water everywhere and turmoil and everything is. So with a little cup of our capacity of the mind, anything comes, anything drops there, a stone, something good, something bad, we are immediately so much upset, no control, it becomes turbulent. Turbulent in the way of being excited, or turbulent in the way of become depressed, or reactionary. So these are the problems of ours. So here the scripture says that whatever situation comes, if he is a person of wisdom, he will not be shaken by that. Swami Sarvadevananda is an example that when anything comes, he is like a perfect calmness and serenity, as it were. And that's why he used to, all the problems alone, Holy Mother used to say, who can take care of me? If there is no Sharat or Sarvadevananda, I cannot think of going to Calcutta. Who will take my responsibility? It's a big issue. But Sarat does that, Sarvadevananda did that. Because Swami Vivekananda said, because he is tranquil. That story you know, that one day Swamiji become little, uh, say externally angry. And he was scolding right and left Swami Sarvadevananda for a long time. And after a long time, yes, Sarvadevananda is like a stalk of wood. No reaction. Whatever he is saying, as if he is saying to the piece of wood or somebody else. And Swamiji is scolding. So difficult to absorb. Huh? You will cry or you will run away. Huh? And Swamiji got tired after some time. And then he said, "What? Are you, there are one type of fish, mud fish. They live in the mud. They are so calm and serene that you cannot catch them, you cannot touch them. So, have you the blood in you? Have you any one blood? You are not getting agitated, what I am saying? Your blood is like a mudfish. Is that your? So the question is that mudfish blood. That means so cool. And then, now go, rascal, go. After scolding such a long time, he could not agitate Sarvadevananda. And Sarvadevananda, after saying, "What? You have no warm blood in your body? That you don't get agitated? Reactionary? Okay, get out." Then he went away, silently went away. And when he went away, Swamiji said to others, "See why he is so calm, do you know? Because he has kept the infinite always with him. He's tuned to the infinite all the time." See, this is the verse. Only you can be tuned to infinity, then you can be perfectly calm. So, bahut dur jane hovega. You have to travel a long distance in spiritual life. Don't expect in a day, thrice, okay, my mind will be all calm and soon I'll be samadhi. No, it is not such. It's a lifelong struggle. So that's why if we see people, their normal behavior will be this. So, kalpanta vayavo bhantu yantu chaikam tamarnava tapantu dadasaditya nasti nirmana shakshati. We have read this. There is no kshati, there is no loss, no matter whether the violent storm blows to the end, the cycle of creation. Huh? Such a storm uprooting everything and this destruction dance going on as it were, whole world, or all the oceans. Suppose the seven seas, the ocean joined together, surpassing their all shorelines. Or even if the 12 suns at a time, all the suns, there are 12 suns in Hindu mythology, Dadasha Aditya, that's we see only one sun. So there are 12 suns, and when suppose they come together at a time, the glow, the power, you think. Even that jointly pour out their fire, of their blazing fiery rays, no harm is caused at all to the knower of Brahman, who has gone beyond the mind. That means for him it's nothing. Let it be. Like the king Janaka said, let the palace go into fire. What's that to me? Huh? What happens when there is a fire? We all run. But we should not pretend like Janaka, that's true. Okay, it is all Brahman and let me sleep. That is tamas. Better to be rajas, then be sattva, and then be beyond. So we have to understand. Just don't match like that, because that is the state of a person of wisdom. Anything happens, okay, what is that to me? Hey, are you really reached that state of oneness with Brahman? Or others, you see, it's your escapism, your sloppiness, your sloth behavior. So it is called tamas. All the time, tamas and sattva, the two qualities look alike. So the Brahma Gyanis also will not react. Once it happened like that, I came here, and then soon after, there was one day big fire on the same on the fence, And I came first and seeing the fire, I was running here and there. And I informed some people as also. I came to Swami Sarvadevananda Maharaj's room. So he was watching television. And in his room there is a television. So the other room where that not the office room, the other room. And he was turning on one side and watching the television. And I was with tiredness and very excited and went and told him, Swami, there is a fire. And this fire is on that side. Where? On this side. Okay. And he again turned on the other side and started watching the television. I thought, my God, what is this? Meaning that, of course, if he is not an ordinary person, we will think that, yeah, he is a callous person or he is not at all paying any importance to this. But you can see he has some certain degree of that calmness. Afterwards he told me, I don't take much care of that because I know there are more efficient people, Jnana and others are there, they will take care. And when they will ask me, okay, Swami, you have to leave the room, then I'll go out. It appears as if one person who is careless about what it, but he is aware. But his mental state is something which he does not disturb, get agitated that much.
Swami Sarvadevananda is the boat.
Sarvadevananda, that's another story. Good, you reminded me. Another story is that there is a Sarvadevananda Swami was going in a boat over the Ganga, and then people are full of other people, and so when suddenly the storm came and boat started rocking like that, and it's becoming like swinging like that, and then what happened? And everyone is crying and weeping and getting totally upset. But at the same time, what I found, it is found that Sarvadevananda is so calm and serene. So that is because he is not fearful about death also. Because what's that this happening of life? What's to be worried about? So we may say all these things, but if anything happens to our life instantly, we get flared up. We get reactionary. That is the difference between we ordinary people and the people of realization. Anyhow, so this we read that whatever happens, even the seven seas cross their soul lines and join together, or the sun, this sun, many, eight, they're talking about 8, a million sun comes in the sky at a time and pour their fiery rays, scorching everything. Whatever happens, the Jnani remains unperturbed with whatever happens to them. And that is the state of perfect control. And that is called, that person has reached the state of emptiness and non-emptiness. That is the related chapter. Now we'll read the verse number 27. The aspirant, means the seeker after freedom, are encouraged to practice knowledge. So therefore, what we have to do? We are all seeker. We should always struggle to practice this Vedantic wisdom every day. So that inspiration is given on the verse number 27 on page 335. So it says, Ya chitihi sarvabhutanam, Ya chitihi sarvabhutanam, Udaya Vyaya Sakshini, Udaya Vyaya Sakshini, Tang Chiting Pasyatabasthang, Tang Chiting Pasyatabastham, Purnananda Ghanamritam, Purnananda Ghanamritam. What it says? Jachiti sarvabhutanam udayo vayo saksidi. That consciousness, that chiti, chit is the consciousness. You always know the word chit. That chiti, that consciousness by which sarvabhutanam udayo vayo saksidi. He witnesses. Sakshi means the witness. Observes. Is the observer. Observer does not get disturbed. Perfect observer does not participate. That's why it's called the sakshi. In the court, when you go, if you have to give witness for someone, you take a vow. I am truthfully telling what has happened without being biased to this or that. So Vedanta is saying, be witness like that, non-biased. Whatever you udayo, birth is coming, destruction, vayo, khaya is coming. So you analyze through discrimination, realize that very consciousness feels state, that is the state, that consciousness which is the witness of the creation, destruction of everything. Our witness consciousness which is inside us, from morning till now, what that consciousness did for us, it only observes. It does not get involved in anything. Oh, you woke up, that's a knowledge. The witness consciousness observe. You come out, you do exercise or do take shower, come to temple. See, somebody in you have observed all these and just witness. It didn't get involved into anything. Like the mirror. You go and stand before the mirror. Huh? Mirror, you see that is there, but it never gets involved. Whether you are putting cream or whether you are showing your bad face to the mirror. Mirror only reflects that. Nothing catches there. It does not hold anything. It is also given the example, the birds fly in the sky. They don't keep any mark. Huh? So, but it for us, with the ego consciousness and witness consciousness has merged with our limited ego, it then, oh, I like it. Oh, I dislike it. I hate it. So all these likes, dislikes, hate is coming. You come one step down from the consciousness, witness. Witness consciousness never get polluted. It is the glass mirror. It only observes. You bring a glass of water, you hold in your hand, it reflects the glass of water. Huh? You bring a knife before the mirror, it reflects the mirror. But as soon as you take out, no mark. So that's why that witness consciousness is like that. It does not do anything. It only observes the things. So to go back to that state of witness consciousness, that is the goal of a Vedanta student. So through discrimination, how it will come? This is the discrimination what I am doing now. It is happening from morning till now it has happened. Now it is also happening. Behind our body, mind, emotion, ego, there is some witness consciousness. It's only observing. Because of its presence, all this cognition is possible. My brain is working. My mind is working. My emotions are working. My sense perception is happening because of that consciousness. But this consciousness is untouched by anything. But a wonderful phenomena to think about how we are misled by this conception of our misconception about ourselves. So through this discernment or discrimination, you realize, that means this Yoga Vasishtha is advising us, we the students, you realize, what you realize? That very consciousness field state. There is a state in you filled with consciousness. Consciousness field state. That is another state. This is the waking state. Consciousness field state means some state it is behind, which is observing these waking experiences, dream experiences, sleep experiences, that it is always full with consciousness. So that you should, by it will not come. It is such a fine thing, you cannot make any dissection with the finest laser surgery. Scientifically, you bring lasers, some surgery is done to so many things, no? But no laser surgery can be done to separate out your ego with the consciousness. But the consciousness filled universe is inside. So the Vasishtha's advice, you can do it only by one weapon, one sword. That is the sword of discrimination. You can dissect it. You can separate out. Dissection means what? One thing is mixed with other, you separate out. So you can separate out that eternal consciousness-filled state, which is eternal, by only discernment or discrimination. By that only you can realize it. It has got mixed up, as we are always hearing. Sattanite mithunikrite ahamidam mamaidam iti naishargiko ayang vyavahara. Satta means truth. And anrito, which is unreal, untruth. Mithunikrite, they have jumbled together, got jumbled together. Ahamidam mamaidam. I am this, I am that, this is mine. All this concept has been generated by the force of Maya, by the force of ignorance. As it happened by the force of ignorance, we always give the common example, rope and snake. People may get tired listening to this idea, rope and snake. But it's probably the best example found out in ancient time. We can use modern examples also. Many illusory things we see, but it is not there. So, it is the consciousness-filled state we have, another state. This is the waking state. That is called the dream state. That is called the sleep state. There is a state which is filled with consciousness day and night, 24 hours. Seta diva nishi purna shashi anande viraj kare jai chalo shei nagare. Oh my mind, let us go. Go to that abode, that state. Jai chalo, that country, that town, that city. Jetha diva nishi, 24 hours, day and night. There is no day, no night. Darkness is not there, ignorance is not there. Diva nishi purna shashi, the full moon. Giving the example, moon is so soothing and peaceful. Jita diva nishi purna shashi anande viraj kare. It is always shining there in its own divine glory. This is let us go there. So it is a poetic expression here. And here is in the Yoga Vasishtha, in a harsh language, he is saying, by discernment, analyze that dreaming state is a state which comes and goes. Waking state is a state which goes and comes every day. Sleep state is a state which I go through every day. But that is something behind consciousness-filled, the language is consciousness-filled state. A state which is filled with consciousness. There is nothing but consciousness. And that's why 24 hours, there is the shining light. And that light is not scorching light. You'll be bored. You go to Alaska sometime when there is no sunset. People get crazy there. But we are not saying that to go to a state of craziness like that. But that is a state of perfect bliss, perfect peace, perfect consciousness, awareness of infinite satisfaction, infinite completeness, and no monotony there. Then we need not read this book. Everything has a monotony. Ice cream, then you'll be bored of ice cream. Pizza, then you'll be bored of pizza. anything you continue, think first, oh, it is good, it is good. And then, if you day and night do for several months, several years, then you will run out of that. When I can get out?
What about cookies?
Huh? What about cookie? Cookie also. Cookies will be for huh? Rice and dal. So this is the point, that there is everywhere, even the highest joy you consider, you will be monotonous after that. That's why now you see those who have nothing to do, they are getting restless. When to get out, when to go some place, when to do some party, because you're getting monotonous. Rather, is it not good that it's too much work, too much hard work? I got time and I'll rest and sleep and spend myself in my way. Mm. Getting monotony there. So that proves that there is nothing you can find where there is no monotony, excepting that state where there is no monotony and it is eternal peace. That's why Upanishad says eternal peace, eternal joy, eternal blessing, Satchidananda, Ananda Sarup, Purna Ananda. All this language in the scripture has used full enlightenment, full joy, full of blissfulness. And every person we see in all religion, whenever they have achieved that state of perfection or peace, you see they become the source of joy to others. Their presence gives joy to others. And they themselves, we find that they are not so full, so much saturated, that they don't need anything of the world. What is the sign of attainment of God? God means you don't need anything more. The whole world comes with its all wealth and prosperity at your feet. It matters little. Ramdas, no? Shivaji's guru. So he's a little wind soul, so it matters little, whole kingdom at his feet. He does not care. So this is the point. The whole kingdom, the whole world with its all attainments and everything is nothing. So that will be the state, can be reached, and the consciousness field state, that consciousness which is the witness of the creation and destruction of every being. That is the creation. That witness observes the creation and destruction of this body when it was created from childhood. There is some consciousness in you and me, which was before my birth even. And when I am born, I do not know how you remember your childhood days and this and that. Somebody has observed that childhood state in you. Otherwise you could not remember anything. But that is mixed with my ego, mixed with my intelligence and mind and emotions. That's why some childhood memories are bad, some childhood memories are so exciting, because there was some consciousness filled state added with my emotions, my undeveloped mind, or whatever the condition is there, my ego sense, undeveloped though, but that has mixed together and created a concept. And that I remember in childhood, when I was this year, 4 years old, I did this and I fell down. I remember still so strongly. But how do you remember that so strongly? No one is telling you anymore. That witness consciousness is always there. Some we forget, some we come. But untainted consciousness is there. But for us, it is mixed with all the 5 koshas, 5 coverings, seeds, no? Of the creation and destruction being, meaning the reality of the nature of consciousness, which is ever existing, of the form of nectar, are full of condensed bliss. So that is full of condensed bliss. That consciousness, which is witness, that itself is bliss. In the other class, somebody put this question, no? That what is the difference between Vedantic concept and the Bhakti? Vedanta is taking the consciousness aspect. We were always talking consciousness. And bhakti is talking about love, 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 the blissfulness. But Satchidananda is Brahman. One aspect you call consciousness, another aspect you call blissfulness. So the blissfulness aspect, bhaktas like that blissfulness aspect, ananda aspect, joy aspect, and to experience that joy. Not to be one with joy, but to experience the joy. And Vedanta says, no, no, no. You are that consciousness, you are that consciousness. And identify perfectly, and you feel that eternally blissful. Same blissful state. Satchidananda are not three qualities or adjectives of Brahman. But they are expressed in three words. One truth expressed in three words. So Gyani takes this consciousness aspect. So you can reach that state. Therefore, we have to do sadhana. What is the sadhana? What is the sadhana?
Not this, not that.
In simple language, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Listen this day and night. Analyze this in your mind and deepen your understanding more and more into this. This is the Vedantic path. But where are you pointing out? You are pointing out to the witness consciousness who is observing like a mirror without getting affected with anything. That's the beauty of it. There is a consciousness, untainted consciousness, but that is getting affected because of my association with my mind and emotions. So this sadhana is, I am not the mind, I'm not the mind, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. So analyze. And when the mind will be wiped out of his mind character, that means mind will be purified, then what you will find? You will find that you are consciousness only. These were adjuncts, superimpositions on the consciousness. So, but you are that consciousness, that will come. So, therefore, the 27th verse taught us that yachitihi, that consciousness, sarva bhutanam udayo vayo sakshini, which is the witness of the udaya. Udaya means coming, and vayo is loss, birth and death, coming up and cessation of not only of you, but also of the things around you. He is observer of that. See what happens? Consciousness does not observe my joy, suffering, pleasure, pain. But this also observes what is happening outside. No? So that is the consciousness. It's the only one witness, unadulterated witness. Tongue cheating, that cheating, that consciousness. Pashyata avastham, that is a state. See that state of awareness. What is that? Purnananda ghanamritam. Think that. That is Purna. Totally full. Ananda. Joy, bliss. Ghana means condensed Ananda. Ananda to the highest degree. To put that, they say Ananda Ghana. Rasa Ghana. They use this term. Rasa Ghana means sweetness condensed. Kheer. In Bengalis, you will understand kheer. Kheer? Milk. You stir it and heat it. So much milk, condensed. No? They make sandesh, sweet meat. So much of milk condensed and gives this much sweet. No. So that much condensed Ananda. That means every beat of his Ananda, nothing more. To give us that concept. That means we can use the modern language. You put some sugar in water, no? The water becomes little sugary, no? Little. Now pour. You reach a point where it becomes crystallized. It started crystallizing. It is ghana. That is the ghana. That means there is no space. Why not go and open? But there is no space in between, no one sugar and another little light water and then again sugar. No, it is continuous. So that is the joy. That's why it is said, what is that joy of God realization? No? Ananda Balli. In the Upanishad, there is Ananda Balli. Taittiriya, no? Taittiriya Upanishad, there is Ananda Balli. There, how much is the joy of God realization? They have given statistics of that. He said, suppose the joy which a young man enjoys. Young man's ashishto, dhrishto, balishto, medhavi, brain is sharp, physical strength is tremendous strength, zeal, energy to the full brim. Imagine a perfect young man and full of character, full of values of life, dignity. Whatever you can think, a young man, perfect young man. What is the Ananda? He's very, very happy because he can face any challenge because he's powerful mentally. He's not going to break down. So he's mentally strong, physically strong, emotionally strong, intellectual brain, very sharp brain, wealth, prosperity, he has everything. So the joy of a young man, multiply it 100 times. The joy of that joy. And suppose that boy, that man or woman becomes the king or queen of the country. What is the joy of that person? So much wealth in the hand of a right person. Power is there. See, his joy will be how much? Multiply 100 times of that joy of that person. And then multiply 100 times and multiply 100 times and given a calculation 10 to the power how much I do not know. That is the joy. Ramakrishna explained what is the joy of that. Your every pore of the body, my God, modern science, how many trillions of pores in your body on the skin? How much? Is there any Google can say? I don't think. Nobody's counted. Yeah. And he says that in every pore you will feel Koti Raman Sukha is the language Thakur Ramakrishna used. Koti means 10 million.
Well, Maharaj average is 5 million.
5 million? 5 million.
5 million.
What?
Pores.
Pores?
Average person.
5 million. No, it should be more. Yeah. But anyhow, maybe I do not know. But in each pore of the body, you will feel 10 million times the joy of the earthly joy, sexual joy. 1 unit of sexual joy multiplied 10 million, that will be felt in 1 pore. And now your body think that, what type of joy? Where does it come from? It's not coming from eating rasagulla or ice cream. Neither it is coming from any other source. But it is pouring out of your own. That is the Brahma Jnana. Thakur gives that idea. So this is the sign of Ananda Valli. That's the joy of perfection. That is to be understood by this process of elimination. No? Now 28th verse, shall we go? Another verse. 28th verse. Mano drishyam idam sarvam. Mano drishyam idam sarvam. Yat kinchit sacharacharam. Yat kinchit sacharacharam. Manasho hi unmani bhavat. Manasho hi unmani bhavat. Dvaitang naivo palabhyate. Dvaitam naivo upalabhyate. Dvaitam naivo upalabhyate. Duality is not experienced at all. When manasohi unmani bhavat. When your mind will be without mind. All duality will vanish. It does not need any philosophical discussion. When my mind is now active, and your mind is active in dream also, is it not? Who sees the dream? Your mind sees the dream. But when you go to sleep, mind almost not there. Therefore, where is your world? This world of suffering, pain, pleasure, anxiety, worries, achievement, failure, success, this, that, all nonsense, your mind is creating. That evaporates. And also in the dream, you have a good dream, bad dream, a tiger is chasing, and you are panting for breath, and you are already caught by the tiger, and your dream breaks. That is also gone in deep sleep. Where is this? Where is that? Tell you all the Dvaitang naeva upalabhyate. Dvaita, duality, can never be experienced at all. Naeva upalabhyate. When manasohi amani bhavat. When the mind, our mind, gives up its functionality of the mind. That means mind becomes perfectly peaceful. Raja Yoga says, what is the mind? Chitta vritti nirodha. When the mind does not make any ripple, mind is calm and serene. At that moment we'll understand this is what we are thinking of so long, all through my life, crying and weeping and sobbing and exciting, doing good, doing bad, this all. Where did it disappear? When you go to deep sleep, where does they go every day? All your experiential world of the waking state and dream state. It's a very big subject. Though we talk about 1,000 times this, in Vedanta there is nothing but this analysis. This is the clue, this is the key to enter into the realm of reality. There is a treasure house. Brahman is everywhere, that treasure house. But we don't see. This is this condition to unlock the covered door, closed door, and you see Brahman then everywhere. So, practice how we can go above the mind. But we are slave of our mind. Our mind says, you are full, I become full. You are worthless, I become worthless. Hurry, what nonsense. I can live without mind. That's why how to go beyond the mind is to just meditation helps us to rise above mind, not to run following the mind's trace like that. Try to be separated. But we have so much association with the mind, we have become the slave of the mind. So that is manaso hi unmani bhavat dvaitam na eva upalabhyate. And then what does it mean? This, I am seeing all these things. Manodishyamidam sarvam. It is the drishya, the visible universe is mono, his mind is showing you this. We may not accept that. But why? Mind is showing, everyone sees that clock. Everyone sees this tree. So what is my mind? Is creating all this? Well, no. That's why you come one step down. Panchadoshi describes that this world is created by God, God's mind. God has given certain objects, and that is being given the name of clock. That's why you see the same clock. I see the same. You see the same sun. I see the same sun. The tree, plant we see. This is called Ishara Srishta Dvaita. duality created by God, the Ishvara. But I have created another thing. God's creation is good. There is no attachment. But my creation creates attachment. Out of this creation, I like this. My liking of my mind is affecting it. I dislike this. But God, when He has created with His own fun. Everything is His creation. So, our personal egocentric projection is falling on God's creation, making it a subject of our attraction, repulsion, our frustration, our success, our failures. All these things are coming because of that. So it is manodushyamidam, idam sarvam. All these sarvam, all these external object are manodushyam. It is the drishya created by the sin, created by my mind. Jat kinchit sachara acharam. Whatever you see, whether it is a moving or a non-moving, the mountain, rocks, ocean, or moving human, mammals, the birds, reptiles, anything you see the movement, all these sachara and achara, jat kinchit, whatever you see is manodushyamidam. Those whole visible moving and unmoving universe is merely the fantasy of the mind itself. That this is very important point to be understood. As I said again, mind.
But why are you saying that it is God's mind? Because when I'm dreaming in the night, I create 5 different people, and along with that, those 5 different people, I myself see the sun is rising and all these things, and those 5 different people are also watching that the same sun. So then it doesn't mean that those 5 people are created by someone else.
No.
So my mind itself created 5 people, and all those 5 people are saying the same thing. The same example, the clock you gave, that I'm seeing the clock, here 5 people are seeing the clock. What is the proof that these 5 people are not my mind creation?
Okay. That's also a philosophy that can be said that I have created this whole one. That's a philosophy. Eko Jivavad. In the Vedanta, that's for a high level of student who can stay in that level. I have created myself. As I create myself in the dream state, what happens? Don't we create ourselves? In the dream, you don't see yourself, you see yourself. And also you see the trees, plants, human beings, friends, enemies, good, bad, everything is there. But everything has been created by Eka, Jiva. I am the only Jiva I have created, though I don't know that. Had I known, then I should not cry. I should not get frightened for anything. But I don't know. But my mind has created. This I, the individual Jiva, has created everything. The sun even there, moon even there, stars even there. If it's big sheep, it is that. It is a train, it is a train, it is a plane, it is a plane. The space, the sky, everything is my mind have projected. So, but that, though I do not know, it is me. My mind is only the factor who is divided into so many ways and showing a drama before me. But when you come back to this waking state, if one spiritual aspirant has raised his consciousness to that level, he can say, yes, this is also me created. But as we live in our normal consciousness, it is more understandable that this whole world is created by Ishvara. That's why Panchadashis takes a one step down to understand why I get affected. Something happening. Suppose today, how many people died? No? If someone says, do you know that person died? Oh, the news says so many people were affected. Oh, how is it so? And then we chit chat and start our munching our things. It does not affect me. But he said, you know that your friend or your sister, or your mom, or your dad, or your somebody whom you love. You say, your food will drop. Isn't it? Because we live in this reality so much. There they bring the concept that it is all this phenomena is going on, not your creation, but one cosmic mind has created this whole stars, galaxies. Huh? But in reality, if you are developed to that level, you can that Eko idea, only one Jiva is there, and that is me. I have created me, I have created all of you. But it is too high above, it will go above our head. Is it not? Is it too high or it is too low? It is too high. So therefore, for us, the Panchadoshi said, okay, Baba, come now, one step down and understand here, and then you get a lift. But here, the same phenomena actually is a cosmic mind has created, and we are all under the spell of the cosmic mind. And that, according to the designer, that's why it is Ishwaricha. This playwright is God, screenwright, playwright, and also the producer, actor, every part he has taken himself in his own, and he is playing his own fun. He is consciously doing. We do unconsciously. That's the point. In the dream, we do that same thing, but we are totally unconscious. But when God does that, God is Satchidananda consciousness, with his own Maya. He is pure Sattva quality, so he knows. Ajay, Gita says, Bahuni me betitani janmani tabucha Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, Bahuni me betitani. I was born many times. You are also born many times. But you have forgotten all these things. But I know everything. That is the God's quality of keeping the awareness of all creation, what is going on. And we are only ignorant about that. And that's why we suffer so much. So in knowledge, it will remove all this darkness. So Ishvara Srishtadvaita is applied in that reason. The God has created this duality. Suppose, as I said, the same person, say X, John, he is loved by so many people. And he is hated by so many people. Why? Why someone loves and why someone hates? Because I hate somebody, I dislike. Why I dislike? My mind says, hey, it's bad. Oh, I like. Oh, my mind says, it is good. So I'm a slave of my mind. So my mind is projected on innocent subject created by God. No. So therefore it is said that don't get affected by that. It is thing that's why we say it is God's play is going on. Just see the God is playing, God is playing, God is playing. So your superimposition, your wrong concept will come out. You don't specifically see. We go to see the Dodger game, no? To show of that, how many get so much excited one way or get depressed in another way. Why? There's some play is going on. Why you are so depressed and the next man who is sitting, he's excited. Two people sitting side by side, two friends sitting side by side. One is taking this side, another is taking the other side. His mind is saying, hey, he is my friend. And even he did the other goal is very good, but I can't appreciate that because I am attached to this. So my likings and dislikings is making a difference. In the eye, the football play is going on or soccer going on or whatever is going on, it is going on in its own fun. Planned by some producer. There is also games committee and which day it will happen. The organizers are there behind. No. According to their wish, things are happening. And we see the play only. And we don't go to the background of anything. We see, and I like the San Francisco or I like this. So I am fan. Whatever they do, good or bad, I like it. So these reactions are, that's a Ishvara Srishta and Jiva Srishta. It's a very good idea to think about this. Okay? So I think we have read this 28 verse we have read. So we'll discuss a little bit further, but mainly we are understanding that everything is created by the mind. It is the creation of mind. Whatever you see in the gross world, whether it is moving or non-moving, it is, but you can get out of it as soon as your mind becomes mindless. In deep sleep, it happens mindless. In samadhi, you become mindless. In attaining your own consciousness about the divine, Satchidananda consciousness, you become one. Mind dissolves. That's a monoloyo. We have chapters, so many chapters you have read. Monoloyo. Mind dissolves totally. And as soon as mind dissolves, the world totally is gone. So nothing to give you pain and nothing to give you this flimsy joy. You will be established in your own divine pure self. Okay, we end here and we'll read 29 verse next day. And if you have any question, no question, very good. Huh?
So the Jiva Shrishti is what we impose upon objects and people?
Jiva Ishvara Srishta is created by God Himself.
Right.
Who is God, you know? Satchidananda, absolute. First coming through the lens of Maya, the Saguna. No? And he said, Eko aham brahu. I was alone, I will be many. That cosmic mind played a role there. And then what he created? The sun, moon, stars, whatever is there. No? And also me. But in me, also you have given my mind. And my mind is now playing a trick, and mind has its samskaras. It says likes, dislikes, indifference, or different reactions all happening in the mind. So it is, example is given. It is like sun's rays, suppose, is falling everywhere, no? And you take a mirror, hand mirror, and put towards the sun, and then reflect towards the wall. The wall was already lighted, is it not? But when your focus of the mirror falls on a particular wall, that side becomes double lighted. But this is a double lighted action. When we see my projection, that's my mirror's projection, that is giving me more concentrated focus on the object, and there is my choice is coming. So your question is then, what is the question? Did I answer?
Yeah. Is it Jiva Shrishta?
Jiva Srishta.
What we impose or project?
Oh, Jiva Srishta is, Jiva is the individual mind. Mind means, as we are with the mind, we see this universe. So my projection, my samskara, that's a sattvika kind of mind, rajasic kind of mind, tamasic kind of mind. These different types of mind will give different likings, dislikings, joy, pleasure, restfulness, restlessness, all this will come.
So we should decrease that.
Yeah, that's why now these parts we already said that what we have to do, mana amani bhava. Just we said the last line that we should have to struggle and make our mind free from all, mindless. When the mind will be mindless, that means mind will no more function to create this confusion. That is the pure mind. When we reach that pure mind, then this delusion will go away.
That seems pretty far away, Swami.
Eh?
That seems pretty far away.
Not far away. Not far away. It may come this moment. But we have to work. Knowledge comes in split second. Only if we have to go on. Yes, we have to persevere. We have to pay the price of the thing we are wanting. But don't think that it is impossible. And how many people have, like you and me, started struggling, and they have been successful. It will be there. It is truth. Swami Vivekananda said, if it is a science, science will be true for everyone. That was the other philosophy who says, I am bigger than you, holier than you. So I will only realize God. What for you? You don't do it. That Vedanta says we are all kings by our own birthright. So it is to inherit that. How we'll inherit? When our craziness of the brain will go away. What is the craziness? Craziness is that I am this petty little boy, petty little girl, I have this failure, I cannot do anything. I forget. It is not me. To brush out with strength and power. Hammer again and again. That's Swamiji's idea. And then in one day, suddenly you'll find Sahosa dekhinu nayana melia enesho tomar duari. Suddenly I find, oh Lord, that you have brought me at your feet. Realization comes in split second. And all work goes on for a long time. Preparation takes, as I give the example, preparation takes so long for cooking good meal. Eating takes only few minutes. So spiritual life is like that. But in spiritual life, there is joy also. That's point. In practicing, if you practice, now is the Durga chanting time, you are all feeling probably. You repeat, forgetting anything. Don't question anything. Repeat day and night. Jai Sri Durga. See what change comes in your mind. What type of inner peace and tranquility you get. Do it for 10 days. Rigorously do it. You may not see too much change, but you will see some change. Some type of inner strength, inner power, inner tranquility, inner peace. It will be felt. So we will have to do, and it will come. There is one question. For whose sake does the mind project all this? For me. I. I. For whose purpose the car moves? The car is sitting in the parking lot. And for you, who is the individual jiva, he wants to ride in it and want to see the country, see Lake Tahoe. So drive. So the car moves, the body moves. But who is behind? It is the, all these are because of me, the I. But this is not the true I, but the reflected I. Is it for mind's sake, as the desires are always in the mind, or is it for the self's sake? Self, pure self, has no desire. It is for my, which is self added with my ego, mind, intellect. Always we talk about that. That mixture. Pure self does not want anything. He's full. That's why capital self has nothing to do with asking for anything or leaving anything or to achieve anything. Small self. What is the small self? Small self is a big self added with ego, intellect, mind, emotions, and the senses and all this. So this is the jiva. That means I, who think this is I will go to San Francisco. Atman is already in San Francisco. He need not have to come. It is now here. It is in San Francisco. It is in London. It is in Europe. It is in the sky. It is in the planets. You are the 16 billion, 20 billion light years away. That star, it is already there. It does not crave for anything. That pure self, when contaminated by the touch of our mind, emotion, ego, then that is the person who thinks limited, and he finds, how shall I go? What can I do? So much is the impediment. Yes, that is because of the small self. And Vedanta says, you are never the small self, you are the big self. Okay, thank you. So this is continuously thinking again and again and again will give us the inner insight. We'll have to work on the mind to make the mind pure. That's the japa, meditation, prayer, selfless work, whatever we talk, all help us to purify the mind. Okay.
One more question.
Another question. I thought no question, now questions.
It just came.
Huh?
It just came.
Just
Okay. Last one. Does Advaita... okay. Hi. Then, does Advaita...
I can do it here. Your phone is better.
Welcome to... Now, Advaita says that past is in the now, or the past is outside the now. There is, in Vedanta, there is no past, there is now. We talk about now, past, future. Huh? It is, that's all. Past, when you come from Advaita to duality. When you come from your infinite nature to this small self nature, then this body was born one day. This body is now this old. This body will die the other day. So that is the thing, past. Past, now, future. Three kala, three time zone. In Brahman, past, gone, future, gone. Now, who will say now? That is also gone. That is why it's called beyond time. When you are saying time, then it is this individual soul. So Advaita say the past is in the now means that you feel the presence of your divine self now. And you forget yourself. But you remember 9 o'clock, 8:30 now of Wednesday, then you are not going to Advaita. Advaita means no two. We have to understand. When you speak about Advaita, intellectually one thing. To understand Advaita is that you have to go beyond time, space, causation. Simple formula. Don't mix up. Don't say Advaita has also time, space, causation. When you bring time, space, causation, you are only talking about Advaita. But you are not in that state. So when we are talking about the state of Advaita, when there is no past, there is no future, there is no now also. But why they say, yes, live in the now, a very popular book. Why? Because we have the power of the now. Why? Because we know, oh, past is bothersome, oh, future uncertainty. Well, why are you thinking of past and present and future? Live now. You are quite okay now. That because he's trying to squeeze the three time zone into one zone. And to focus in this zone, only the unchanged. Because if you live in now you can catch now. In the split second nowadays, the clock, they can millisecond. Femtoti. I do not know. Anyhow, 10 to the power how much?
10 to the power minus 15.
10 to the power minus 15. You can break 1 second. Split. There is no now. By that time you say 10 to the power 15. This is already gone. So where is your now? Now we say, we think we understand now. We don't understand what is now. There is no now.
It's actually even what you perceive in this moment is a little bit, there's a bit of a lag because there's a split second time for your brain to
Catch it. Even catching that is important. And 10 to the power minus 15, tell me, what second you will have a concept? 1 second click, that is enough for us. And you divide it in 10 to the power 15, negative 15. Say 15 zeros. That end, think of the end of 15 zeros. And that second going out. And by that time you see, can you see that? Can you feel that? Can you stay there? So it's only fictitious word now. There is no now, there is no past, there is no future. So what is that? It cannot be said. That's the meaning. Now means It is drawing our attention from gross past to gross future, from the even that gross now to the final now, to that which never time is there, no time. That's called Satchidananda state. Thank you all. Jai Ma. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Vanam Astu. So, tomorrow will be Kathopanishad at 10:30 and 7:30 will be Gospel. Thank you. Gospel probably I am giving. No? Tomorrow? Suttamananda, sir. So 2 classes from Suttamananda
You
tomorrow.
probably broke the head of all the people that are reading the power of now. Like, oh, there is no now.
No,
The
no.
whole reality is completely.
No. If we really think about that, tell me where you can find